my first Amazon FBA product, all the failures, all the numbers. I want to show it to all of you guys, how it failed and how not to do the same thing. So please keep on watching if you want to see the first Amazon product I ever did.
Okay, so I made a fancy little PowerPoint over here to show you guys all my expenses and all the whole market and how much I ordered, just so everything is super clear, because I don't want you guys to repeat the same mistakes as me, and I want you guys to actually see all the numbers, because I feel like a lot of people don't show the exact numbers. And this isn't just kind of a guess, like how much do you need to get started, how much is shipping, how much is each unit, how much do you spend on PPC and packaging. It's literally everything has been tested, because I literally did this product, I ordered the units, I paid all the fees, I paid all the PPC, all the packaging and everything. Like I said, this was my very first product, and I want you guys to see how everything went down. So I'm going to give you a full-on analysis and tell you guys where I went wrong, what my profits are, everything. So I began with 500 units. And now that is the first mistake, because this was literally my very first product and I didn't know exactly how many to order. I thought that 500 was too little. And going back now, I have ordered units from like 100 to 300, 100 at the lowest, and 300 probably is like mid-range. And that's completely fine, because I personally don't like to do giveaways with the categories I go into. For most products, I haven't done giveaways, and this was in anticipation with giveaways. But then again, I wasn't an expert or anything at FBA when I started, so this is kind of my mental pattern as I was doing this. So I ordered 500 units. Should have went for less. Probably going back now, I would have ordered 200 to 250, but I was trying to do giveaways, right? So it cost me $3.95 per unit, and that would be $1,975 for just the units themselves. Now this included, it was really good packaging as well. So it required a really nice box, and there was like a little thing inside of it, and there was a printout. So this is kind of had a lot of components to it, and the product was not really heavy. Shipping was $1.35 per unit, and for 500 units it cost me $676. Now shipping 135 is actually really good. It was air DDP, so all duties paid. I didn't have to lift a finger, I didn't have to order a freight forwarder. It was literally from China to the warehouse. Really affordable in my opinion, because ever since then I've ordered products that are a lot more expensive on shipping than that. There are some that are like $4 because I like to do air. So this, I just wanted to get it in because it's my first time, and I just wanted to, chop and get the ball rolling. So I paid for air shipping DDP really fast and in there. The PayPal fee, of course, $119 for the protection. Then the box design, I found a really inexpensive person on Fiverr, cost about $20, and this is including the logo as well. And then photos are $35. In photos, I actually did the trick that I teach you guys in some of my other videos, where I use Shutterstock, and I basically used a Photoshop expert to kind of Photoshop a few things together, take a few of competition's photographs and kind of like re-angle them, which is a really smart thing to do actually, and then like rebrand it, re-logo it essentially, so they can't really tell that I'm using their pictures. Yeah, so all together, just like hands down, just to get the listing up and everything, it was $2,825 for that, which in the grand scheme of things is not that bad, considering the fact that it is 500 units. Like I said, now I honestly think you guys can be successful without ordering 500 units, and that is what I have done since. I order less quantities, and that has been okay for me. And considering that this under $3,000 is for 500 units, it's actually a really good deal. If you were to cut that in half and even order 250, that would be an amazing thing to start with. And honestly, like 3,000 for 500 units is actually really good. At the time, I thought that this was a lot. I thought that spending this much on the actual product and shipping was a lot, but looking back at it, no, this is actually really good. The shipping is great considering it's DTP and air, and the whole lead time of this was less than a month. I would say 3 weeks. So that was pretty good, actually. This is my actual screenshot from the PI that the manufacturer sent me. So you guys can see this is the exact numbers, 500 units at $395 each, with the amount of 1,775, plus this one right here is for actually for shipping. This is the PayPal fee, and a total of right here. The above slide included the box design and the photos. Okay, moving along. This is my breakdown from my actual Amazon page because I wanted you guys to see how much money. Don't forget about the FBA fees and the, you know, everything else that goes into it. The product is not just what you pay for it, right? So here is the screenshot. The FBA fees came out to be $2.83. So that's including the referral fee, which is the 15 to 20% or like 10 to 20%, depending on which category you are, that Amazon takes for basically selling on their platform. And then there's the FBA rates of like pack and ship fee, you know, based on the dimensions of your product. So mine was actually still relatively good. This is pretty nice. And then plus my product calculated rough estimate is about $5.3. So just to sell this product, to break even, I would need to sell it at $11.13. And I was selling it for $16.97. Now this was not my original plan. If I were to sell it at this price right here, it would put me at $5.84 earnings, which is great. I mean, I don't think that's low, especially I'll show you guys why. I know people say like $10, but honestly, if it's profitable, like $5.84 was good enough for me. And plus, I was trying to sell it as a premium item for about $23. So I honestly thought that my income would be higher than that, which again, that's mistake number 2, is that I kind of over calculated it, and I gave myself way too much like benefit of the doubt on Slack on that, because honestly this product would not have been selling more for that. Like there's other sellers that were selling it for way cheaper, but it was a market in such high demand, and I'll show you the market and everything, that they were able to get away with it because it was like constant. It was like they were selling 50 units a day, so their profits were really high even though they were selling it for so low. But I couldn't do that because I didn't do giveaways, and I had to kind of slowly rank up there, right? So I was trying to price it at way higher than it could have been priced. So that's mistake number 2. Then let's go and I'll show you guys the market. So this is cool, right? This is the first page. So I believe this is the first 13 people that are selling it. And honestly, like looking at the screenshot now, I would go into the item. I mean, wouldn't you? And this is actually a great lesson, because everybody thinks that, and I emphasize this so much in all my videos, everybody thinks that just because the numbers are there, that means it's a go-ahead product. And that is not the case, because that's exactly what I did. I studied the market, so I thought I studied the numbers and they looked good. But I didn't anticipate the future, which I guess in this point it's a little bit harder to foresee it. But again, even this is less than a year ago still, and the market looks just as good as it did last time. But the problem is these are all pretty much like new sellers, and it is a crazy market. But look, the monthly revenue is incredible. It's a stable market. Everyone is making money. Even the lowest guy is making $5,000. The price is all in a really good range. People are getting away for selling it for $21 essentially. The reviews, right? Like, look, this guy has 0 reviews, 113,000, right? He's doing some shady things though, let's be honest. Shady things. I studied this seller, and he's got some like funky things going on his account. So he's shady. But all these other ones, like 50 reviews, 5K, 87 reviews, 7K, even like this number, 148, that's still low to me. And that's for pretty much making 24K a month. So this market looked perfect. I thought that I found gold. That's why I went into it, but that's not the case. So I'll get into my PPC spend and how I try to actually launch it later. Next slide. But I want to explain the market to you so you guys can actually learn, right? I have way in-depth videos about this. And by the way, this is a screenshot from Viral Launch, if you're wondering what the numbers are, just from the Chrome extension. I have discount codes down below, you guys, for these softwares. The problem with this market is it is such a common product, and there's not much effort that needs to go into it. And even though I try to stand out with an amazing listing, and I'll tell you that my listing is still the best compared to everyone else, everyone pretty much destroys themselves, right? It's just one of those price down to the bottom, new sellers coming in, new launches coming in. It's just such a Me Too product that everyone is just eating themselves alive. I thought that my bundle was good enough, which I included in ebook, but it wasn't, because this product, it doesn't really bundle with anything. It's just almost a commodity because how popular it got. So that is why everyone, it looks like it's in such high demand, but there's so many new sellers coming in pretty much weekly and crushing all the other ones, and like leaving negative reviews. I had fake negative reviews left on mine that it is basically impossible to stay on the first page unless you're a person that has a sales history with Amazon and you're literally one of the first people that entered the market, so you have that seniority because of the sales level, right? But other than that, it's pretty much like a refreshing market every couple of months, and that is why it looks so fresh and new. But in reality, it's just something that is like on a cycle. Every few months, new sellers, new listings, because the other ones like eat all the previous sellers with negative reviews and just claims that aren't true. So I was thinking that since I had such a great listing and my product was like quality, it was more quality than the other ones. The other ones were like a little flimsy, and things like that. But I went and get like better material. So I actually like put in effort. And if you guys were to buy my product, it would be better than the rest, because I'm like, hey, you know what? I can improve on this. So that's what I was looking for, to actually give him a higher price, but for good quality, for like a premium looking object, not something that just comes in like a little OPP bag or whatever, right? I actually packaged it nicely. It looked like a giftable item. It was beautiful. But that's not enough. It wasn't enough to get me to the top, and I could have tried more things, but I'll tell you guys why I stopped, and I completely cashed out and decided it wasn't worth it. So this is my PPC. This is from my Fetcher account. So I use Fetcher to keep all my like sales and check my sales and things like that. So it's actually convenient because it tells me my PPC spend. And I was going to show you guys them off of my Amazon account, but they were just too spread out and you guys would have been confused. But this is just a general great summary. So as you can see, this is not what you're trying to go for, right? I spent a total of $835.96 on PPC within like a month of having this or less. And then my ACOS was 97%. So I made like a $20 more than I spent. However, taking product costs into account and everything else, clearly I'm at a negative, right? So this is crazy. So I got all my reviews, by the way, guys. I had like 12 5-star reviews going into this. I had my automatic campaigns, manual campaigns, everything running. So just like all other products, I try to launch it with organically with PPC, and some products it works for, others it doesn't. This is not a market it worked for, clearly. But my PPC, which the ACOS doesn't scare me as much because I was kind of launching it, it wasn't to the top page, but I got to page 4. I was still making sales, right? I was moving up there in the ranks, and I was really excited because I was completely undetectable when I first got in there, but now I am on page 4. So yeah, obviously ACOS always begins high. 97% is quite high, but over time you hope that it gets lower. So yeah, this is my actual Fetcher outline, right? So you can see I made $4,000 in sales, costs were $2,000, my profit was $1,681 with a 41 profit margin, ROI 70%. Now, you guys are probably wondering, how have I sold 107 units and made $4,000 in sales? Like, what price am I selling this for? Right? That doesn't make any sense. What's going on? Doesn't make sense. Well, guys, here is actually what happened, and I consider myself very fortunate. What happened was I was actually just going to cut my losses. I'm like, my PPC right here is way too high, like pretty much 97% ACOS. I'm like on page 4, people find me. I don't know how they find me. I'm getting negative reviews from competitors. It's like super sketch, and I'm just gonna keep losing money if I spend it on PPC. I was like, maybe I should sell it through eBay or garage sales. I was just gonna liquidate. I was literally about to place a what is it called, a removal order in my Amazon account, and this is what I noticed, that my units went down. So all 500 were in Amazon. At this point, I've sold 107, like actually sold 107, which actually thinking back, it's not that bad. But I'm like, where are my units? I'm supposed to have like 500 in here, and I only had like 250 or something. And out of those 250, I sold like 107. So I'm like, where are 300 units? That's weird. And so I called Amazon, and you guys, you will not believe it. They told me that they lost my units. They literally lost 300 of my units, which is more than half of my inventory, within like a month of it getting there. Like, they literally lost it. It's gone. They can't find it. I'm like, all right. The next slide. So I'm like, what do you mean you lost my units? So like, we're gonna start an investigation. We're gonna open this. We're gonna find your units. They didn't find my units. Okay, so I don't know what happened, but I'm thankful that it happened. I'm thankful in this case that it happened. I think it's some good karma coming back to me, because I got a big fat $2,000, $2,500 reimbursement from Amazon right here. So it's just a little snapshot of the fetcher. Basically, how they calculated it is based on the first price that I set it at, which was way lower than $16. But they calculated that, times it by the units, and thought that was a good reimbursement to give. If I had it left on like $17, like I did, like before I closed it down, they would have cashed me out at that price, and I would have made fat money back. It's almost like me selling the units. So they gave me back $2,500, which covers most of the cost, basically, out of the $2,825 that I spent. And that is also in addition to the profits I made from actually selling 107 organic units, and then minus PPC and everything. So in all, I actually profited. Basically, now my garage is filled with the remaining 150 or whatever, or however many I had, units that are just sitting. And obviously this doesn't happen to everyone, and in most products, guys, and I know this because, again, experience of other failed products, you can naturally sell out over months by selling like a unit or two every couple of days. And I have done that with other products, but this one is just in such a competitive high market that if I were to leave it on there, it was I didn't want it to approach the long-term storage. It's all trial and error, and I've learned so many valuable lessons. And one of the important ones is actually looking and studying the market fully, and especially having a really strategic plan of, if it is a really competitive market like that, how are you going to rank to the top, and keeping in mind that competition can be really nasty. So I hope that you guys found this educational. Please subscribe to my channel. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.